What is that? It looks like a lever. Should we pull it? Well, let's see you find out. Okay, go playing. All right.
C'est le Hoffman or c'est le Frenchman?
This is the dumbest game I've...
And more, make the ducting, fit and more
Here comes a new challenger. You must crush them.
Hi everyone! It is I, Ashley Weber. So today, we are going to take a look at DIY Treats, Valentine's Day edition. Isn't just the greatest thing I ever seen?
We're going to be making some Valentine's Day themed treats to give you guys some ideas this year.
That's cool. Really cool.
Drink, we have a traditional dessert, and then we have some snacks. So, whatever you fancy, we got an idea for everything. Also, I'm very excited because this video is sponsored by Hum Nutrition. Thank you so much. Now, before we get started, you may be asking, Ro, is that a cool new sweater? And the answer
I love
is
this
yes.
one, huh? That sounds good. Exciting.
It is a piece of pizza, and it's dripping cheese, but the drip spells love. And what are these little pepperoni shaped like? These are X's in it.
Oh my goodness.
You can find it at RosannaPansino.com, and it's for limited time, so go check it out fast before they're gone. I'm 4'10", and the XX small fits me really well. Now, without further ado, let's make some Valentine's Day yummies. Let's get started. The first thing that we're going to be making are these...
Ooh, that sounds super cute to me.
To make these, it's pretty simple. I'm going to walk you through it. The first
This
thing
is
that
a video.
you
It's a
will
longer
need
video,
is
you know?
geometric heart mold. I found this one online. They have a bunch of them, and I really like this size. You also want to get a size where you're eyeballing it, where you can see that this would fit inside of a cute little coffee cup, a cute little mug, so you can make hot cocoa. Because they do have molds that are bigger, but they will not fit in a cup. So make sure you get a size that will fit inside your little cups. So the first step to making these is you want to pop your white
That
candy
sounds
melt into the
interesting.
microwave. Make sure it's in a
Wasn't that
heat-safe
the
bowl.
awesomest
And we're
thing
gonna
I
heat
ever
them up
saw
in
that?
increments so that your
That's
chocolate
really
candy melts
cute.
do not burn. You don't want to overdo it. So I'm going to pop it in the microwave and heat in 30-second increments. Once the candy melts are melted, we are going to paint the inside of all of these molds using a small little paintbrush. This is really fun. It makes me feel like I'm in art class. It's kind of artsy. So we're just going to dip a little bit in here and then head over here, and I like to start on the top and paint down. When I made hot cocoa bombs in the past, I like to do layers. So here you're going to want to paint about 3 to 4 layers of candy melt in the mold. So I'm putting it on top of
that
a cutting
sounds
board, but you can
cool.
use anything in your kitchen that's flat. So when you move
That's
it,
a
you don't
very
want it to
interesting
bend. Just
paint.
put a
You
thin
know
layer
what you're
in all the
thinking
molds,
for.
let it set for a few minutes, and then we'll do it
That's
again. We
super
painted
cute.
about 4 layers on each of these molds. Now I'm going to pop it in the refrigerator to chill and set. It chills very quickly, whether you're working with chocolate or candy melts, very fast. So
That
that's
sounds
good
a bit
thing.
super
And we're going to put it in
cute.
for about 5 to 10 minutes. The chocolate hearts have set. I've popped them out of the silicone mold, and now we're going to make them look super sleek. The bottom hearts I've already smoothed, and the top hearts, you can see the edges are really jagged. I'm going to show you how to make them very smooth. It's very easy. So you're going to pick one up, and then over on the stove, I have a small pan on a low heat. You're just going to place it in the pan.
That's a very
You'll see it
interesting thing
melts
to do this.
immediately, and you want to see melting
That's
all the
like
way
it.
around. And as soon as you do, you're going to pick it up, whoop, drag it, woo, and you want to do this to both sides. So when you stick it together, it's really seamless. This was great. Now we're going to do this to the rest of our hearts. All the chocolate hearts are now smooth, and they're separated over here. And here, I've got the good stuff, the stuff that's going to go inside the hot cocoa bomb. So, of course, you're going to need hot cocoa. I've got a little bit of instant hot cocoa mix. For fun, I'm adding some little hot
That's much
sprinkles.
like
They're so
this
cute,
one.
and they're pink. Then, last but not least, we have some small, mini marshmallows. We're putting these on the top last because they're super fluffy. You want to put everything on one side because it makes assembling it easier. Then we're going to do this to the rest of our cocoa bombs. We've got all the good stuff inside these hot cocoa bombs. Now we've got to seal them up. In the piping bag, I have some more melted candy melts, and I just cut off the tip. We're going to pipe an outline on top of the heart, basically the edge of the heart, and then place on the top.
Ooh, that's really amazing.
Just piping a thin layer right on the trim, and now we're going to stick on the top. I'm going to use my fingers, kind of line it up. You can kind of feel perfect. And now, ever so gently, you can use your finger or a spatula, whatever you have handy, even a toothpick. You're just going to scrape off the little excess buildup all the way around to make it look really clean. And ta-da! There you have it.
Very cool.
The bomb is assembled. I'm going to do this to the other bombs, and we're not done because we're going to add a little bit of my favorite part, a decoration. Now it's my favorite time. It is time to decorate. We're going to be decorating the tops of these hot cocoa bombs with a little bit of melted red candy melt. I put some into a little piping bag. Again, cut the tip a very small opening because I want to do a really pretty drizzle over the top. So what we're going to want to do is decorate these one at a time so that your sprinkles will stick. So you start with one, and we're going to do a zigzag drizzle. We're going to get a little messy, and that's okay. Just go back and forth, zigzag, zigzag, lots of color. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's
is
a
cool.
good
That's what I
zigzag.
like. And now, sprinkle some hearts. We've got
Wow, I
hearts,
think
red
it's
hearts,
really
and
cute
just
thing
some
to my
regular
nose.
sprinkles. And you want to
I
sprinkle
guess
these
it's
on
pretty
right away
much
so that they'll
exactly the
stick.
same that we always
Look how
did.
cool it looks. I feel like I'm a fancy chef at a fancy restaurant, and I'm like, ooh, here's your Michelin dessert. Then you
Very
can put the rest of
interesting.
your hot cocoa bombs, and they're ready to serve. And there you have it.
Very
Here are the
cute.
geometric heart hot cocoa bombs that we made. Now that we've made these, I get to enjoy one for myself. We're going to test these cute little bombs out. You're just going to take a bomb, place them into a cute mug, like that, and pour hot milk over the bomb. Look at that! It popped open!
Wow,
So
marshmallows.
cute. And the little marshmallows and the hearts are all floating. This is like a nice little chocolate cup of love. Oh, wow, that's good. These were an absolute win. They work perfectly. If you've got anyone who loves chocolate or a little hot cocoa for this Valentine's Day, this might be the perfect idea for them. Next, we are going to be making the ultimate dessert. We're going to be making a cake that looks like a box of chocolates, and actually it's going to have the chocolates. So the cake that
I
we're
guess
making
it's
today
really
is
much the
a
same
red
it
velvet
is.
cake. I feel
I
like
like
a red
my very
velvet
own
cake
details.
is the perfect cake for Valentine's Day. Also, I'll be posting all of the ingredients in the description below. If you want to make this cake and follow along at home, you can. First thing to do, very easy. We're going to whisk whisk together some dry ingredients. So over here, we've got a medium-sized bowl with some flour. And we're going to add our cocoa powder, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of baking soda. Then, using a whisk, you're going to whisk together till well combined. You want to make sure that all of your dry ingredients are the same color. You can't see the separation anymore. Once well mixed, we're just going to leave it here off to the side and move on to our big mixing bowl. In our big mixing bowl, we're going to cream together our butter and sugar. With these measurements, there's a lot more sugar than butter, so it's not going to get as light and fluffy as when we normally cream together butter and sugar, but that's okay. So we're going to just scoop this with a spatula into the bowl. You want your butter to be at room temperature, nice and soft. You don't want it to be cold coming right out of the refrigerator.
That's a cold coming though.
Butter. Cream the butter for just a minute.
Pretty much it is.
Mixers, just to make things a little bit easier. Add your sugar and mix again. That's looking good. That's what we want. The goal is kinetic sand texture. All right, now we're going to add our vanilla extract and we're going to add 3 eggs. I've already cracked them. So just bloop, bloop, bloop. And a little vanilla extract. Bloop. Now mix for 2 minutes on a medium speed. Once mixed, we're going to set aside and move over here. Pour half a cup of whole milk to a bowl of sour cream. You might think,
Very
cream in a cake?
interesting.
Are you crazy? That
I
sounds
guess
weird.
that's pretty
Let me
much
tell you,
exactly
this is
the
secret
way
with
it
It adds
is.
so much moisture to your cake. It is so good. And whisk together. Now, this bowl's too big, but it's what I had handy. So I'm just going to pour my sour cream and milk inside. Now we'll whisk together your whole milk and sour
Everything.
cream. We're going to alternate adding the dry ingredients and the milk ingredients to our butter mixture, starting and ending with dry. You're going to add 1/3 of the dry, mix it up, half of the milk, red food coloring dye, mix it up, second, 1/3 of the dry, mix it up, second half of the milk, mix it up, and the last of the dry, and mix it up. The batter is all done, and I divided it between our 4 baking pans. We have 4 6-inch pans. 2 of them are 6-inch circles, and 2 of them are 6-inch squares. Don't forget to grease and line your pans. And when I say line your pans, I mean cut out a piece of parchment paper. I cut out 2 circles to place here and 2 squares to place at the bottom of your pans before you pour in your batter. So when you're taking your cakes out, they come out with ease. There's no problems with sticking at all.
Ooh, those are the delicious food I'm able to eat on Valentine's Day. It's a good yum yum in my tummy.
Until you put in a toothpick and it comes out clean.
Improve
My cakes are
yourself.
looking good. They're pretty flat because I've let them cool upside down. It helps create a little flatness. If your cakes are a little domed, you can use a leveler or a sharp cutting knife to cut them off so they're a little bit flatter. Now we're going to make a heart cake. In front of me I have a heart cake board, and I've got a turntable to make icing a little bit easier. And in these piping bags, I have 2 different kinds of icing. In the middle of the cake, between the cake layers, we're going to be using a cream cheese icing, and then to decorate and ice around the cake for a little bit more structure, we're going to be
That's
using an
much
American
interesting, the
buttercream.
cute
The
way.
cream cheese icing, you guys, tastes so good. It pairs really well with a red velvet cake, so we had to use it because when you bite into it, the flavors are so complimentary. And if you want to make this at home, I will put the recipe down below. It's very easy to make. To make our heart-shaped cake, we're going to first start with a square cake. Take this whole square cake, bring it right over, and you're going to place it, boom. Then take one of your round 6-inch cakes, cut in half, and place the sides on top. Now to ice the top of this, I'm going to do a double icing technique using my American buttercream. I'm going to pipe the outline. It's a little stiffer. It's going to hold it
Pretty
together well,
much.
and I'm doing this so that it will
I guess
hold the
it's
cream
gonna look
cheese
the
icing
same
in
it
place a
is.
little bit better because the cream cheese icing is a little bit softer, silkier. Instead of a white picket fence, we have white American buttercream. Once the icing's on top, using an offset spatula, just apply gentle pressure. Going to even it out, make it nice and smooth, so the cake that we place on top will lie flat. Once iced, we're going to stack on the second layer. Take your
Very
second square cake,
interesting.
this time flip it upside down and place it in the same spot. Same thing with the round. We're going to cut it in half, flip them upside down, stick them together. I love this technique because you don't need to carve
I
the
love
cake.
this
Because
heart.
as you can see, things get messy.
I like
The
that
cake
one.
is assembled, and now it is time to ice. We're We're going to cover the entire cake with a little American buttercream. Start icing the top and work your way down. Once you have your cake covered in icing, use your offset spatula to smooth it out. Apply gentle pressure and spin and spin and spin. Woohoo! The cake is completely iced. We're going to pop it in the fridge to chill while we roll out our fondant. We're going to make the lid of the candy box. In front of me, I rolled out some red fondant. And if you want to do this the day before to have all these pieces done and ready, you can. This part has to completely dry and harden before we place it onto the cake. So you can make these a day in advance, or you can add a little bit of Tylose powder to your fondant, which will help it harden.
That sounds fun.
I'm going to be placing
It's a pretty tricky mood to this time, huh? I like my very own stylish things to do this.
So we're going to be cutting it out, eyeballing it about half an inch.
I like those hearts, but that's a decoration to my own.
Sharp cutting knife. Be careful, don't get your fingers, or an X-Acto knife. Whatever you have around the house, eyeball it and try to follow the shape of the heart about a half an inch out. Remove the excess fondant and allow this big heart to set. Now set this aside, and I'm going to roll out this fondant to make a strip that will go around the edge of the heart. And I'm using a sharp cutting knife. I'm going to cut the ends right here, and up here. And now we're going to attach them to our heart. In this little bowl, we've got some watered down royal icing and a small paintbrush. We're going to paint a little bit all the way around the edge. We're going to outline your heart, and then we're going to stick these strips on top.
It's a good old top things to do that.
Around right on top of the heart.
Love those organized things. You're trying to do this a lot.
I'm going to set it off to the side to completely dry. Pop the cake out of the fridge. I covered the board with a little black fondant for decoration. And now in front of me rolled out another piece of fondant. We're going to be cutting out another heart. This one we are going to be placing right directly on top of the cake. Using a sharp cutting knife or X-Acto knife, cut out your heart. And this time we're going to be cutting out the exact shape of the heart. Okay, come with me, little heart. Line it up at the top, then smooth it out. In front of me, I cut out two large rectangles. They are 4.5 inches by 16 inches. And I cut out two of them. We're going to place them on the sides of the cake, and they're going to stick up a little bit, like a lip, to look like a box of chocolate. Look at that. That's a nice lip.
That's
all the
really
way
cool.
around. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Last fondant decoration detail to make is the bow. I like this because it's a little bit more freehand. You don't have to be exact with measurements. I've already made the bow here, and I'm going to show you what I did. Just make two of these. You roll out a little
that sounds
and flip it
irritating to
over,
all
right
the time.
here, and let it sit, dry, and harden. And look at that. The bottom of the bow, again, is just cutting two little strips and cutting them at a diagonal angle. To get everything to attach, sometimes I use water, but we are going to be using a little bit of watered down royal icing. Just going to paint a little bit at the end, boop, 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 and the end here, and then stick them together. Place on the top.
Still coming.
And then, there you go. This is what I did to make a bow, but there are so many different ways to make bows with fondant. You can really get creative, and you can give it your own style. I flipped the fondant lid upside down, attach the bow very carefully. I'm going to be very gentle picking up the bow, very gentle placing the bow. We're going to put a little bit of our watered down royal icing.
I like the way it is.
The cake is almost
That
done.
sounds
The
a
last
good,
step is
amazing
putting in
trick
our
to do
chocolate.
that.
I bought some of my favorite Valentine's
That sounds
Day
good to
chocolate.
me.
Now we're just going to place these on the top of our cake. And ta-da! There you have it. Here is the box of chocolate cake. It's two desserts in one. Not only did we make a delicious red velvet cake, but we decorated it and filled it with chocolate, so it's also a box of chocolates with a removable lid. We just gotta be gentle. Here it goes. And the chocolates are inside. This may be one of my favorite cakes.
That
we've
sounds
ever made.
amazing.
Also, I made my cake a 2-layer cake because I love cake.
This
and
is
I want my
still
cake
the
hot.
amazing
If you
awesome
make the
to
cake
the
a
whole.
1-layer, it will look much more realistic. This cake is so fun. I'm obsessed. Now, on to our last Valentine's
Last
treat, which is a yummy little snack.
Valentine.
The last treat that we're making are these strawberry roses. They're perfect for a healthy healthy Valentine's Day snack, or you can even eat them for breakfast with some pancakes. They're really easy to make and super fun. Let me show you how. In front of me, I've got a bunch of fresh strawberries and a cutting board. When you're making this treat, try to pick strawberries that are all about the same shape and size. The rounder, the better. Not those really long strawberries. Those won't look as cute. We want shorter and round. That's the goal. Take one of your strawberries and you're going to place it green down. I always think of this as the butt of the strawberry. We just put it butts down like so. And with your fingers, you're going to hold the top of your strawberry. Take your small cutting knife and about halfway down the strawberry, you're going to do a cut. And you don't want it to be too deep. You want it to be pretty thin and don't cut it all the way down. Leave it connected at the bottom. It can drop out like a little petal. Then turn your strawberry.
That's a good
and
one.
Cutting this
I like those
you
strawberry
leave it
roses.
We're going to do the same thing.
This is
Try
gonna
not
be
to
a
cut
job
that
on my
previous
own.
one. We're going to try to make 5 petals, but every rose is a little bit different. If they're a little bit different size, okay. So this is looking really cute, and you can see if you just pull these out a little bit, they look like petals. Now we're going to do one more round of cuts, and you do them in between the petals.
Thanks to
Like,
Han
here's
for
the 2
sponsoring
petals,
this
petal
video.
and a petal. We're going to cut right in between, and when we're cutting down, I'm also going to angle it inward a little bit, like we're coring the center of the strawberry. So I'm going to be cutting in, kind of inward, like so. And then here, same thing, inward. I can just twist, pop this out of here. Oh, yeah! Using a
Very
knife or
cute.
You're just going to flare the petals out to poof it out more so it really looks like a rose. Then we're going to do this to the rest of our strawberries. Here's all the strawberry roses. They look so cute. I made a dozen of them. I'm going to be doing another one. We're going to be doing a baker's dozen. Once you have all the strawberry roses cut, there's so many different things you can do. You can serve these on a plate for breakfast. You could do pancakes, scrambled eggs. I really want to make a bouquet, so I'm going to be sticking them on top of these wooden skewers. So just take one of your strawberries and for a little vase, I'm just using a large mason jar. Look at that!
That's
I'm
amazing.
doing a single rose. I'm just going to keep skewing the rest of these strawberries. I got some greenery over here, and I'm just going to try to arrange it and make it super cute. And ta-da!
Well, we'll see you next time.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Thanks for watching. Woof, woof.
Well, thank you for watching. See you soon.